Alright, welcome back to another exciting measurement video. This is a graduated cylinder. It's a 100 ml graduated cylinder. It measures units of volume. We use liters, and in the metric system, these represent milliliters. A liter is a pretty big volume. So you'll see I have some green liquid in a graduated cylinder. I just want to show you proper way to read volume in a graduated cylinder. So you'll notice that there's this dark band right at the top. That is called a meniscus, okay? And ultimately, you want to read at the bottom of that meniscus. So when we want to read this measurement, we want to get that value that's at the bottom of that meniscus, okay? So if you look here, the big lines represent every 10 mils. So this number here, 80, is representing this large line right here. And then you'll see that each line, if you look in between down here, each line represents how many mils? 1 mil, right? So if I read the bottom of the meniscus on this value, you'll see, look at my non-steady hand here, you'll see that I'm somewhere pretty close to that 82 mil mark, okay? And so ultimately, if you said, well, you're right at 82 mils, Mrs. Leiminker, I'd say, yeah, you're probably right. I am pretty close to that, 82 exactly. However, you do see that there is a gap there, and the volume very well could have been somewhere in between 81 and 82, and maybe some of you actually are looking at it going, yeah, actually, I kind of think it's, right below that 82 mil mark. So when we look at volume, right, we know that we're at the 80. We know we're somewhere close to the 2, so we're somewhere between 81 and 82 mils, okay? So some of you might say you're at exactly 82 mils. Others are going to say, okay, I think you're actually just a little bit below where the 82 line starts. And so we are very certain on the tens place, and we can be pretty certain there on that ones place, but we can still estimate one decimal place smaller. And again, all measurements have a unit on their number, so we know what the number means. So some of you might say, well, I'm going to call this 81.9 mils. Others of you would say that this is 82 mils. And if you say it's exactly 82, remember that we can estimate one decimal place smaller than our smallest line that we have here. So our smallest line represents 1 mil. So I can go one decimal place smaller, which is to the 10th place. So you have to make sure that on your measurement, you have it to the 10th place. Okay, so I'm going to give you a practice problem for volume. I'm going to change the volume slightly, and I want you to come up with the answer. Get that air bubble out of there. So what did that volume change to now? And you'll see now I got right in between two lines. So are you calling that 87 or 88 or 87.5? What's your value? I would probably call that 80. If you're reading the bottom of a meniscus, I would call that like 87.1, 87.2 mils. So as long as you have the 87 and not the 88, because you don't want to read the top of the meniscus, you're in the right ballpark. And then you need a decimal place to the 10th place, and you need a unit milliliters.